How do people justify paying so much for real estate? Long-time browser, first-time poster, please go easy. Basically, my question for anyone buying real estate at these prices is, how do you justify paying so much for real estate given that prices have basically doubled since 2020? My smooth brain won't let me pull the trigger if I see that a property, for example, was $250,000 in 2020 and almost $500,000 now. Absolutely nothing, improvements or otherwise, has changed with the property other than it getting older. I was sweating buying my first property back in 2018 for $248,000 at 3.99 April and even refinanced during COVID down to 2.75. I'm looking at potentially moving now to upgrade, and I earn double what I used to in 2018, but even with my increased income and potentially income if I were to rent my current house, there is no way in hell that I could justify paying these elevated prices. For those buying, I'd love to hear your thought process to help potentially pull the trigger. Thanks. Buy land, they're not making it anymore. Mark Twain. Ironically, people asked the same question in 2018 and decided to wait for the prices to crash. So, you bought a property in 2018 for $248, and now it's worth $500. And you don't know why people buy real estate? In 2019, bought an just okay, not great, 1941 built home, after getting divorced, for $154,000. House was in somewhat dated shape, but I did do a few improvements, nothing over the top. Selling now, and realtor asked what I thought I'd get selling. I said $180,000. He said I will most likely get $280, $300K. Whoever in this thread said real estate prices will not be coming down, I think that is accurate. At the end of the day, housing provides shelter and people need a place to live in. I feel the same way. Between 2012, 2020 it was a nice steady 2-3 increase each year. 2021, 2023, 40 or more. It's just insane. It may be the new normal. Prices have gone up across the board. Doubt they'll come back down. People will always need housing. Every said the same thing throughout the past 50 years probably. I talked to an old-timer Chicago real estate investor, and his advice to me was buy whenever you can and don't sell. If it was higher years ago, would you pay above market price today? The way I see it, it doesn't matter what the price was years ago. The market today is what determines the current value. FOMO. People keep saying real estate has to go down, and it either plateaus or just keeps going up. People would just rather buy now versus looking back 5 years from now and saying, shit, I wish I bought when it was cheap. I rationalize it that inflation is like 30, so makes sense prices went up. Also, so much money was printed, so money is just not worth what it was before. Real estate, everybody needs a place to live, and the market is what it is, unless a city dies like Detroit did. As long as there's jobs there, the prices should hold. Overall, what are you gonna do? If it's an income property, running the numbers to actually cash flow regardless of appreciation, price is more important. When it comes to buying a property, it's about how much you can afford comfortably. If you can afford it, you can make the financials make sense. You also have people who kind of have to buy due to a move, for a job, etc. There will always be retransactions. The numbers are extremely low due to the current market and interest rates. Because your government loves to print money. It's not slowing down anytime soon either due to basic economics. Housing and all other assets will perpetually go up until the system collapses. Everyone's saying this isn't a bubble. What do you make of the Airbnb crash? There's at least some inventory that's going to be forced on the market later this year, and analytics say it won't be insubstantial. In case you didn't notice, inflation has hit, is going to continue to hit America, which means the property prices are going to go up even into the future. The entire world can invest in American real estate, which explains why there are so many cash deals happening. So basically the entire world wants a piece of America and its safety and security in an all-turbulent world, and you are competing with the Gulf sheikhs, Chinese entrepreneurs, Indian technocrats, etc. Good luck getting a home. Because it's the new normal. Things will get more expensive and more normal as millennials and younger continue to buy. Everything we have ever done and bought is stupid expensive, from college, to vehicles to houses. Everything is higher with no logical reason. If you don't want to buy it, someone else will figure out a way to make it work, because there is only one way forward. Unfortunately, right now the way forward is overpriced. The last time housing prices were at an all-time high and the rates were high was in 2006. Fed rate peaked at 5.25, basically where we are now. Is all about FOMO. One day a good amount of people will be wrong, but is part of the game. Like those who bought at all times high prior the crash in 2008. Supply and demand. It makes sense if you're paying a stupid amount of rent. It's a question that's asked every single year. If people are waiting for a crash to buy, you might never buy a house. The way I justify it is, does it make me money? If yes, then I buy. A bit simplified, but same idea. If the numbers make sense, the numbers make sense. Can't make that in China and sell it on Amazon Hoss. There is always a bigger fish. A better house, a different time, another opportunity. People take it because they can afford it and it's what they need at the time. My only question is, how the fuck are people able to still afford to buy? You said it yourself, your income doubled, property value doubled. You are not the only one. Depends where you live. I bought in January 22nd and paid $585K. The property I bought is easily worth $585K. I think a lot of entry-level homes have gone up to Reddick prices, but you can definitely find some deals in the $500 to $1 million range that have not gone up as much, because there's just less people that can afford those types of homes. Prices are high now, but I bet if you bought an overpriced house tomorrow you will look like a genius in 5 years. Especially if it's a property that can cash flow or at least service the debt. Real estate will consistently go up in the long term, and it's the average person's best hedge against inflation. All I can say is my property value has almost doubled, but my taxes are gonna be a heavy hitter this year as well. It's gonna be a nice property to sell down the line, nice nest egg. Why do people buy Microsoft stock now when they could have gotten it for less last year? Something is worth what the market says it's worth. When 2008 financial crisis started, no financial instruments were safe. So fund managers started pouring money in commodity index funds. This led to soar wheat and crop prices, causing Arab Spring and other political turmoil. Fast forward to 2020, those same decision makers now see US residential space as an index fund. High prices are supported by extremely tight inventory. A position can be morally wrong yet economically sound. Only way tides will turn when the commercial real estate is forced to deleverage. Till then, we get to plan the musical chair again. You should buy now. Prices will always go up. Every realtor who wants to earn a commission. The fact that I didn't do it 10 years ago because I thought the same. And the fact that I didn't do it 10 years before that, because I thought the same. Fool me twice. There is no justification for it other than this is what the market is. You either buy it or you don't. There isn't much else to it. Same situation here, but at the end of the day it's a belief things will only go up. Just got a townhome for $600K in Southern California. Before 2020 this would be $300K, but that's the land we are in. Historically inflation will not return to pre-inflation prices. So get in now or never get in and just hold and refinance.